Hagar, come here, bro. Come here. He's getting a little hyper. So I wanted to show you this sign right here. Look, he's looking. I just was walking the dog around. I've seen this before because I'm over this way. So the notice, no concealed weapons. Anybody that would think that sign would do anything to help anyone, it's unbelievable to me that people would even put a sign like that up. You are guaranteeing that no armed good guys are in there, but the bad guys that are breaking all the laws anyway and don't care about that sign now go in and they are fishing in a barrel. You can't miss, right? Shooting fish in a barrel, you can't miss. So I can't believe that those signs are still even a thing. Just down here walking Agar around. Haven't went live in a long time. Over here by this graveyard. Believe it or not, they had to fence us off because of people going in there and tearing stuff up, which the FBI did get involved in. Only bad part was, it's kind of funny, only bad part was the local PD, the local police department, when they found out the FBI was coming, they cleaned up the scene. And then when the FBI came, they asked where all the evidence was. And they were like, we bagged it up. We trashed it. So it's kind of funny. I guess lesson learned on that one. So yeah, we're just out here filming around. Anybody got any gun questions or anything that you'd like to ask, or any kind of questions? I'm not seeing any comments. Maybe you guys are commenting. I'm just not seeing anything. So I thought I had that turned on, but I don't know. Woo. Have a video coming out soon here. Night Corps has a weapon light with green laser. Pretty impressive light. I got to do the beam shot portion, and then I'll be able to get that video out to you guys. I don't know why I can't see any comments if you guys are commenting. Let me know what state you're watching from, if you're watching right now. Yeah, I'll never understand, guys, why. Well, I do understand in some ways. Let's talk about the gun stuff again. So, and I'm not trying to get political here, guys. Whether you like Trump, you don't like Trump, let's not even go into the presidential stuff. But the mainstream what I call the lamestream media, MSDNC, Deface the Nation, they have programmed people to fear the gun and not the person. So they could see the killer and they could see the AR-15 laying on a table, and they would recoil at the AR-15 over recoiling at the guy that just killed people. And it's a shame. It's very unfortunate. And it's all in an attempt and a pursuit to disarm. See, the enemy isn't the criminals. It's really not who they're after. They want to disarm the citizens, the patriots. They want us all disarmed, because when you're disarmed, you are under full control. You are under complete control from the leadership of the country. And every country that has a dictatorship disarmed their citizens before that happened. So it's very unfortunate that people, like I've seen people, and sometimes older people, and they're like, oh, I don't like guns. Well, did you ever look at an airplane and say, I don't like airplanes? Because several foreign terrorists flew them into buildings and crashed them in America and hijacked them? You ever look at an airplane and say, oh, I just don't like those? No. Because in that case, you were never trained to look at the airplane and blame that. You blamed it on the guy that flew the plane. The media never tried to program you to look at the vehicle where the man drove up on the sidewalk and hit people. You didn't look at the Chevy work truck model and grit your teeth and wince and say, I just don't like those. No, because you were never programmed to blame the truck. But when it comes to firearms, they're programmed to blame the firearm. Always. It's always the inanimate object, the piece of metal, that if you lay it out here and this was a private area with no one around, it would be here 50 years from now. And there really is only one way, the best, most fastest and secure way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy on scene with a gun. Did you know that in Los Angeles, if you call 911, you get put on hold immediately? It says, please wait for the next available operator. Look it up. The city's so big and they got so much crime, even in the middle of the day, you will get placed on hold. Now, of course, I don't live in California, but that's just the way it is out there. So you have California that restricts citizens from carrying in most cases, which hopefully that changes soon. I know some people from California on here that I'm good friends with, and their mind is straight on liking guns and knowing who the enemy is and what's going on. But anyway, citizens can't carry in California, and yet if something happens and you call 911, you get immediately put on hold. Well, that's the very state that should be the first to have free open carry and constitutional carry concealed. That should be the very first state to have that. You're going to be sitting on hold. Somebody's got a knife or an axe or a bat or whatever. And the first thing when you call 911, please hold for the next available. And that's what you're going to get. Nice day out today. I'm in Ohio, if any of you don't know. I like the Ohio gun laws. We are constitutional carry, open carry. A couple of years ago, probably a few years now, switchblades are legal. They're legal to carry. They're legal to buy in stores. Even as much as I don't carry them, but brass knuckles, saps, and it even explicitly states this in the law. You can look it up for Ohio law. Blackjacks, lead-filled gloves, which those are pretty amazing. I know a cop that used to go to a lot of domestics and fight calls, and he carried them. They got lead pouches with powdered lead in the knuckles. So if you have to get into it with somebody, you have an advantage. But yeah, there's a lot of things that's legal in Ohio. Weed is legal, not only for medical, but weed is legal if you're 21 and older, just to walk in and get it in the state of Ohio. Stand your ground law. We have a stand your ground law that says they took away the duty to retreat if you're out in public. So if the way the law used to read in Ohio is that if me and the dog are out here, or just me, whatever, and somebody came up in a car and they were on drugs and they wanted to rob me to buy more drugs or whatever, if they got out and they came at me and were threatening me or had a knife, the Ohio law used to be that my duty was to retreat basically until I was cornered and had no other option. Then if I used self-defense, then I had to prove innocence. So Ohio changed two things in the law. They gave us stand your ground law, and then they gave us what most southern states have had for decades. The law states that if it's not a clear-cut crime and the police come to investigate and you had a shooting and you said it was self-defense, you are presumed innocent and a prosecutor has to prove you guilty in court. Believe it or not, it used to be that you had to prove innocence if you had self-defense shooting or anything in self-defense. And it's like that in a lot of northern states and a lot of states that aren't free. It's still like that. So if I say, hey, this guy came to attack me, the police come out, they see the guy, they can tell basically the guy's up to no good, the knife's beside of him, and I shot him. I am innocent until or unless a prosecutor, if he even takes the case, they don't have to take the case. You got to remember that. There's a lot of times self-defense shootings happen, and the guy, he may go down to the police station for a few minutes, but sometimes they don't even take him to the, when it's a clear cut and dry case or it's on video, they'll say, hey, we'll keep in touch with you, and we'll let you know if we need to talk with you. So in a self-defense situation, you don't necessarily even have to go down to the police department, if they have everything that they need for their investigation. And then you're presumed innocent. Now, if you have some criminal that goes up and he shoots somebody and they're investigating it and everything looks wrong and everything points the other direction, then he's not going to be presumed innocent. But if there's reasonable suspicion that it was actual self-defense, you are innocent. And then a prosecutor would have to determine if he wants to take the case and then prove you guilty in a court of law. And there's no duty to retreat. Now, we have castle doctrine, which means that in your home, just the fact of somebody breaking into your home, you can use lethal force. They don't have to have anything. They don't have to have knives, guns, bats. Just the fact of them being in your home constitutes enough of a threat, okay? Breaking and entering. Now, that's a good law. And it's like the lieutenant that I sometimes have to train with in the Cleveland PD said, somebody asked him about shooting somebody in the back in your home. He said, absolutely. He said, why would I say you could absolutely shoot somebody in the back in your home? He said, because this isn't a game of you have to give them ample opportunity like the Wild West, 10 paces and we turn and fire. He said, getting someone to turn and face you could make everything go out of control and out of whack, especially if he's got a gun in front of him. So he said, if I come up on somebody in my kitchen and their back's to me, I don't care what they got in the hands of what they're doing, they're going down. I'm shooting until the threat stopped. That's a lieutenant in one of the Cleveland precinct police departments. I never really thought of it that way before, but I'm just being honest. But it makes so much sense. It makes complete sense to me. Why would you give the criminal even footing before you can use lethal force? Because all you're doing is you are limiting your chances and your life and your family's life. So he said, of course, he said, I'm shooting in the back till the threat's on the ground. So some things to think about. Okay, Castle Doctrine was also extended to the vehicle in Ohio in about 2008. They said if you are in your vehicle, you have every right, just like if you were in your residence, to defend yourself and use deadly force. If you're getting carjacked, something's going on, you can't road rage and do it or whatever, but of course, you got to be smart. But I'm saying, like, clearly somebody's coming to carjack you. Clearly somebody's coming up, reaching in your car window, trying to rob you. You have the backing of Castle Doctrine in your vehicle. And all stand your ground law means, I got somebody on here telling me they're from Maine to Maryland. Hang on, I can't see that. Kind of went by me there. You'd be prosecuting, Maine and Maryland, member of yep. Yeah. So in some of these states, unfortunately, because of the judges that they have in those states, DB, what's up? So Ohio has done a lot in terms of laws. I am really happy with Ohio in the way that they have handled the laws, especially the knife laws. I always thought it was silly. The knife laws used to be really vague. This is just for you knife guys out there. Knife laws used to be super vague. There was no cut and dry. And now basically the law is it doesn't matter if it's fixed, if it's a fixed blade, 10-inch dagger, it doesn't matter. Anything you got, you can carry. It's only deemed a weapon and only charged. A switchblade will only be charged as a dangerous weapon if you attempt or use it in a crime. Isn't that smart? Isn't that the way things should be? I mean, I love it. I mean, it was always so dumb to me because, you know what? You want to know there's something out there that's faster than a switchblade for you knife guys. What's faster than a switchblade? What is faster than a switchblade? Give you that trivia question. A fixed blade. Because as soon as you pull a little fixed blade out that's on the inside of your waistband and you grab it by the handle, the blade's already exposed. You don't even have to push the button. A fixed blade is faster than a switchblade. These old laws that were on the books are so goofy. They made no sense. It's just ridiculous. But now, thankfully, things are really in the right direction. This is a very pro-gun state. And I really like that, about the state. I got no complaints. You don't need any kind of permits. If you want to come here and you want to carry, it's constitutional. They don't charge you a fee to have your rights. It's free. You just carry as long as you not a felon and as long as you don't have a domestic violence. There's a lot to that I don't want to go into. There's a lot of guys out there that's been charged with domestic violence that was done that wasn't, how should I say it? That he really wasn't a domestic abuser, but, somebody got mad and in situations, he couldn't prove himself or something. There's a lot of that goes on, which is unfortunate. That's why I say that if you're with a female and things are going wrong, just walk away. Just walk away. Don't don't give her the opportunity to want to bury you, and knowing if you're a gun guy and then want to bury you with law enforcement. Don't ever do that. Walk away, man. Know it's time to cut. There's multi-millions of women in this world. And, as far as me, I date and things like that. I don't get serious, man. I like how I'm doing right now. I date women, go out, have fun, do things like that. But I really enjoy the way I have it. I like my peacefulness. I like my alone time. I'm really a loner. I'm a big time loner. Like, that's just how I prefer to be. Now, a lot of times if you look up in a lot of psychological exams and mental examinations, loners can be a bad sign. But that has to be combined with a lot of other actions and activities to really make it seem like somebody's got a personality that is towards some things that's not the best. But I am a loner. I could just be in my house for a whole weekend, literally just in there, like big snowstorms outside, and I won't have one issue with not talking to anybody or not being outdoors or not going and seeing anybody and things like that. That's just the way I am. Just me and Agar. But so yeah, I am not in the mind of getting serious with anybody. But how I handle it, and I've never had anything bad like that happen to me, but I'm just saying how I handle things. If I thought I was getting serious and it started to not work out, I just walk away. I just tell them, hey, if this is what makes you happy, and if this is what makes you happy and this is what you want, then I respect that. And then I walk out the door, and I never turn around, ever. And that's how I do it. I don't argue. I don't get into spats and texting spats, and I won't do it. I'll just say, okay, I had a good time with you, and, good luck in the future. And if this is what makes you happy, then totally on board with it. And then I completely walk. I completely walk. No matter if it was right or if it was wrong, what was going on with them. So, that's how you got to be in this day and time. But, yeah, I'll never understand why that sign, notice no concealed weapons, why anybody ever thought that was a good idea. And how that could make somebody feel good, knowing that if anybody came in there, that there would be, if a criminal were here and he wanted to do something, he would know that he's guaranteed nobody to stop him, in that situation. Gahin, hus, gahin. And that's how I stand on that, That's how I stand, And, I just try to stay away from trouble in general. Like, I don't go to gas stations that's in bad areas, and I just try to keep to myself, man. I don't want trouble with anybody or anything. I try to de-escalate every situation that I can, first and foremost. So instead of seeing their aggravation and their anger and one-upping them, I see all that, and then I try to de-escalate them and undercut it and try to work things out. And it works favorably. It works good. That's the best way to approach things, is de-escalation. It's the biggest tool in your kit, is de-escalation, and you can use that in any realm. You can use it in law enforcement. You can use it on the street, but de-escalation is the best tool that you'll ever have. But when somebody comes into my house, all bets are off. There is no de-escalation. There is none. There is none at all. That's, or getting carjacked or something. But yeah, at that time, there is no de-escalation. I'm just kind of rambling, guys, walking the dog. Haven't done a live in a long time. Wanted to catch up with you guys. I know you haven't heard from me. I have some people asking where I've been, and I've kind of, not going to lie, I've kind of lost the I don't know. I kind of lost the thrill of making videos, and I don't know why. I want to get that back, though. Haven't been buying a lot of guns lately, nothing new. Last thing I got new was that Gen 5 Glock 19 that I got on sale at Fin, Feather, and Fur. What was it? I got that for like $375, I think. I can't remember, but I got a heck of a deal on that 19 Gen 5 and Fin, Feather, and Fur's used gun case. The only thing bad about that was, which really wasn't bad, it came with a Magpul magazine and no OEM Glock mags. So I just threw one of my spare Glock 17 mags at it. Sticks out a little bit. Nine Millie Norm, good to see you, my friend. AUC Houston, good to hear from you, my friend. Thank you guys for saying that you're glad to see me. I'm glad to hear from you as well. Even though I don't know all of my subscribers, I still like you. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I have an opportunity to go shoot if I want to. Just a lot of different things. I don't know. Might go visit my parents. May do both. Who knows? It's a good day. 69 degrees here. Let me check for an update on what the temperature is. Oh, it's 70 now. 70 degrees here. Hagar's just out enjoying the weather. All right, guys, I hope everyone's doing good. I just wanted to touch base. That. And it's not a money thing. YouTube hasn't paid money in years, really. So it's just, I just somehow lost the desire to do the videos. And if it's not in your heart, I hate faking it on the gun table. You know, you guys can tell and know in my voice and my speech and how I act when I'm reviewing guns and stuff, or I get a new gun. And I just don't feel that a lot of times. It'll come back, though. That stuff comes and goes in waves. You know, that's just how it is. That stuff comes and goes, and it will return. But I don't want to be fakey, you know, about it. I want to be real. I want you to see my excitement. Like when I did that video of that Glock 19 Gen 5 that I got for something crazy like $370, you could tell in my voice how happy I was. That's why when I first get the gun, I do the review right away. People are like, why don't you shoot the gun first and this and that, and then do a review? Because I want that original excitement that I have walking out of the gun store. I want that to come through in the video. You know, I want that to shine through and to show you all, you know, just how I feel about it. Then later on, I shoot it and I tell you guys about it. So, thinking about getting another vehicle, looking at stuff on Carvana. I found something I really, really liked, loved, and somebody grabbed it before I was just kind of kicking the idea back and forth. And what it was Toyota Tacoma 2020 from a state that don't use salt on the roads. Looked brand new. The thing looked brand new. You could literally drop food on the motor, on the cover in the motor, and eat it. But it was the tan edition that Toyota came out with at that one time that had the flags, the black outline of the flags up on the doors, and it's a desert tan color. I loved that truck. And this was the TRD off-road. It had every bell and whistle you could get. I mean, the thing would even steer itself on the highway if you let go of the wheel. Every bell and whistle that you can get. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm looking at that, you know, $33,000 price tag to click that button, you know. Now, of course, I don't have cash for that. This would have been on a loan. I'm not rich. I mean, well, I do know some people that could pay cash for that, but not me. But anyway, I just couldn't get over the feeling of thinking, click this button on Carvana of this truck that was immaculate. Looked like it was fresh in the showroom. Just beautiful. Black on the interior, that tan color, even had this black cap on the back. It looked really nice. Just everything, you know, off-road package, crawl control, diff lockers, all kinds of stuff. And I really wanted that truck. I really wanted it, and I couldn't even sleep last night. I was thinking about it so much. And then guess what? When I woke up, purchase was in progress with somebody else. But I said, you know what? That's okay. Things come and they go, and there will always be something else that catches your eye. But for now, I like the Ford F-150 with the 5.0 V8. I got no complaints about it. And but yeah, almost went back to a Tacoma. You guys might have known some years ago I leased one. I leased it with the intention of possibly buying it after the lease. And then COVID was going around and all this. It was just all kinds of stuff was going on at that time. I leased it in 2020, brand new out of the showroom. Actually, it was delivered. It had to be delivered to the dealership. It was ordered. Nothing special, just an SR5. And then when the lease was up in 2 years, I didn't know what was going to happen. COVID, they just literally locked the country down the week I was turning in my Tacoma. And oh no, wait a minute. That's when I got it. But COVID was still going on. Prices were going sky high. I didn't know what was going to happen with everything. COVID was still on in 2022. And, and I was like, well, I better not take this payment on. And then I got something cheaper, less of a payment. And that was this F-150. And it's been good to me. There are some things that need some work, but it's a good riding truck. Engine's perfect. Transmission's great. Had the fluid. Guys, I'm going to get off here and get this dog back in the vehicle, and good to hear from you, and I'll talk to you guys real soon, maybe get your video out. Until then, this is DOF and my boy Agar.